The first punch came out of nowhere. 1 second I was standing on the sidewalk outside a small diner in downtown Chicago, the cool evening air brushing against my face. The next second, pain exploded through my chest like a firework gone wrong. I hit the pavement hard. My ribs screamed with every breath, and the world spun in blurry circles. Above me stood a man with rage in his eyes. A man I had never met before. A man who thought I was someone else. But the strange part of this story isn't the broken ribs. It's the text message that changed everything, because it was sent to the wrong number. Before we get into this unbelievable story, take a second to support the channel. If you enjoy stories about compassion, humanity, and the incredible power of kindness, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. You're watching Kindness Lights, where even the smallest act of kindness can change someone's entire life. Now let's begin. My name is Daniel Harper. I'm a 32-year-old delivery driver. Nothing glamorous, just long days, heavy boxes, and trying to make rent every month. That night started like any other Tuesday. I finished my last delivery and stopped by a diner to grab a cheap burger before heading home. I remember checking my phone and thinking about how tired I was. That's when he walked up. Big guy. Bald head. Tattoos on his neck. The kind of guy who makes you instinctively take a step back. He looked straight at me and said, "You think you're funny?" I blinked. Sorry. The next thing I knew, his fist slammed into my ribs. I gasped and collapsed onto the sidewalk. 2 more guys rushed over and grabbed him, but the damage was done. I could barely breathe. "You texting my girl?" he shouted. "I don't even know you." I wheezed. A few people from the diner rushed outside. Someone called an ambulance. The guy finally realized something was wrong. He stared at my face, confused. "You're not Marcus." I shook my head, still clutching my side. Wrong guy. He had attacked the wrong person. By the time the ambulance arrived, he was gone at the hospital. The doctor confirmed what I already suspected: 2 cracked ribs. Breathing felt like knives sliding between my bones. I couldn't work for at least 3 weeks. 3 weeks for someone living paycheck to paycheck. That might as well have been 3 years. That night I lay in my tiny apartment staring at the ceiling, wondering how I was going to pay rent. Then my phone buzzed. A text message, unknown number. It said, "Marcus, please answer me. I think something bad is happening. I'm scared." I frowned. Wrong number. I almost ignored it, but something about the message felt desperate. I typed back, "I think you have the wrong number." 3 dots appeared immediately. Then another message, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I must have typed 1 digit wrong. My boyfriend is outside my apartment and he's furious. I don't know what to do." I stared at the screen. My ribs throbbed and suddenly I realized something. This must be the same situation that got me punched earlier. Someone texting the wrong person. I slowly typed back, "Are you safe right now?" There was a pause, then the reply came, "I locked the door. But he's yelling outside." My heart pounded. I had never met this woman, but she was scared, and somehow, through a simple mistake, our lives had collided. "What's your name?" I asked. "Emily." "Emily, listen carefully," I wrote. "If you feel unsafe, you should call the police." Another pause. "I'm scared that will make things worse." I sighed. I understood that fear. Then I asked something that changed the entire direction of the night. "Where are you located?" She hesitated before sending the address. My eyes widened. It was only 10 minutes away. Normally I would never get involved in something like this, especially with cracked ribs, but something inside me wouldn't let me sit still. Maybe it was the pain, maybe it was the memory of being attacked by someone who didn't bother to see the truth, or maybe it was just simple human kindness. I typed one more message, "I'm coming out." 3 minutes later I was in my old Toyota, wincing every time I turned the steering wheel. When I pulled up to the apartment building, I could hear shouting from the street. A man was pacing outside the entrance, big, angry. My stomach dropped. It was him, the same guy who had broken my ribs. For a moment I considered driving away, but then my phone buzzed again. "Are you here?" Emily texted. I took a deep breath and stepped out of the car. "Hey," I called. The man turned. Recognition flashed across his face. "You?" I raised my hands calmly. "Yeah. Me." He looked confused, then embarrassed. "I thought you were someone else earlier," he muttered. "I figured that out," I said, forcing a weak smile. He rubbed the back of his neck. "I messed up, man." I nodded toward the building. "Your girlfriend is scared." He froze, the anger drained from his face. I didn't mean to scare her." "Then maybe you should calm down and talk instead of yelling outside her door." For a long moment he said nothing. Finally he sat down on the curb. "You're right." A few minutes later Emily came downstairs. She looked nervous at first, but when she saw both of us sitting quietly, her shoulders relaxed. The guy stood up slowly. "I'm sorry," he said to both of us, and something incredible happened. Instead of another fight, there was a conversation. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't magical, but it was honest. Eventually Emily turned to me. "You drove here for a stranger?" I shrugged. "You texted the wrong number," I said. "But maybe it was the right person." She smiled softly. Before I left, the guy walked over and shook my hand carefully. "I owe you," he said. I laughed and tapped my ribs. "You already paid." We all laughed. A week later, something even more surprising happened. Emily and her boyfriend showed up at my apartment with groceries and an envelope. Inside was enough money to cover my rent while I recovered, but the money wasn't the thing that stuck with me. It was the note. It said, "Thank you for answering a message that wasn't meant for you." Sometimes kindness starts with something small: a text message, a moment of patience, a stranger choosing to care, and sometimes that small moment can change 3 lives at once. So if there's one thing I hope you take from this story, it's this: kindness doesn't require permission, it doesn't require perfection. Sometimes it just requires answering when someone reaches out, even if it's by accident, and who knows, the next wrong number you answer might be exactly the right moment to bring a little more light into the world. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes kindness still matters, because here at Kindness Lights, we believe every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the power to brighten someone's darkest